Hello everyone, this is Josh from Sellzee. Sellzee is the scouting app that lets you scout without doubt. Today we're going to be taking a look at what's broken with your existing scouting app and how Sellzee fixes that. Now specifically we're going to be looking at how your triggers on your app are broken, whether you're using FBA Scan or some other scouting app. The triggers frankly just don't work. They don't really set your price the way that you actually set your price when you go to list the item, whether it be a book. And we're going to be focusing on books today, but whether it be a book or any other item, your scouting app is just really not working in terms of setting your price correctly. Let's look at the main things that are broken with existing scouting apps. Now, the underlying problem is that the other scouting apps only let you use either the lowest offer, the lowest merchant fulfilled offer, or the lowest FBA offer. And that leads to a bunch of different problems. One of the main problems is that these other apps are not letting you set your price depending on your condition. So if you change your condition from acceptable all the way up to very good, theoretically, you should be able to fetch more for that item. But because of the scouting apps, the other scouting apps are just using lowest offer, lowest merchant fulfilled offer, or lowest FBA offer, they're not changing when you upgrade and downgrade your condition. The other major problem with other scouting apps is they don't have fallback prices. They just have one way of setting the price. And then if there's a problem with that price, like it's not available. So say, for example, using lowest FBA offer, but then there's no FBA offers, then you're just going to get no price at all. Though if you've ever used a repricer, you've probably seen, like in repricers such as Sellzee, they have a whole list of prices, and the way it works is it goes through the list in order and it uses the first price that returns a value. So that's how Sellzee actually works. You get a whole priority list of prices, so you get these fallback prices. Now these two problems lead to some really costly side effects. Number one, lost opportunities. So you're not factoring in your FBA premium, or you're not factoring in your condition premium. And the reason you're not factoring in your FBA premium is because if you have, for example, your trigger in your app set to the lowest FBA offer, but there aren't any FBA offers, then you're just going to get no price. And then if you go back and switch it to lowest of all offers, you're just going to get the merchant fulfilled offer, and it's not going to have the FBA premium built in. The other side effect that you're getting is overpricing. So there's no support for ceiling prices in other apps. So you end up these weird things where, for example, the app thinks that you're going to be able to sell a used book for more than a new book, which might happen in rare circumstances, but it's not really something to bank on, so to speak. So we're going to show you how Sellzee fixes all this. We're going to go one example at a time, and we're going to progressively build up our pricing list to be able to handle all possible use cases. So let's first go into the app. This is Sellzee. We haven't scanned an item yet. It's waiting for us to scan an item. But let's go into the pricing rules and take a look at where we're starting. So we're starting with the most basic vanilla pricing rule list here. And I'm using the lowest. Let's set this to the lowest used offer. So what we're doing here is we're saying, give me the lowest used offer and set my price to the same price. So let's just back up a second. There's 3 sections in the pricing rule screen. First, you pick your comparable offers. That's sort of like a filter operation. And then you're picking your price relative to those comparables. And then down here, the usage filter, ignore that. We'll go over that a little bit later, right? So if I was having a conversation with you, I'd be saying, only use used offers. That's what that first section's saying. And then set my price to the lowest comparable, which is the lowest used. And then set my price higher by 0%, which is another way of saying just set it equal to that. Okay, so we're going to save that. We're going to go back to the screen. Now let's start scanning. I've got a bunch of examples prepared here so you can see how we can progressively build up a pricing rule that handles all possible use cases. Okay, so this is our first item. We're scanning it, and it's set the price to $7.90. Why is it setting the price at $7.90? Because the lowest used offer is $7.90, that one right there. By the way, if you tap on an offer, it'll set the price to that offer, and then if you want to reset your sell price back to the rule, you just tap the price down here at the bottom to have the price reset. Okay, so it's $7.90. Now, why is this a problem? Well, it's the lowest used offer, but look at the FBA offers. There's a big spread between the merchant fulfilled and the FBA offers. I really should be pricing it closer to $15.25, and if my item's very good, it should be that $15.25, right? It just happens to be a coincidence here that the very good and the acceptable are the same price, but really that's my comparable right there. That $15.25 that I just highlighted is my comparable. So how do we fix that? Let's go back into the pricing rule. Let's edit this rule that we already have, and we're gonna change it to, let's leave this unused, and then we're gonna just turn on the fulfillment filter. So now we're saying, give me the lowest FBA offer and set my price equal to that. Okay. Now let's go ahead and scan the same item again. Okay, and we're gonna see, all right, now it's $15.25. All right, so $15.25, it's setting it to the lowest FBA offer. Now let's move on to another example here. Scan another item here. Now, this is similar to the last one, but there's a bigger difference between the FBA acceptable and better condition offers. So look at this one right here. It's setting it to $8.67, even though our condition is very good. And that's because I've only got one rule set up. Now we're gonna fix this problem as well. So I really want it to, let's say my condition was like new. Look, see, it's still on $8.67. I really want it to be matching on that $11.50. Okay, so let's go back into the pricing rule, and let's change this one to be use the same condition as mine. So use offers that are in the same condition as mine, only use Amazon offers as comparables. Okay, that's good for this one. Then let's add a couple more so that I can use other FBA offers as comparables if they're in better or worse condition than mine. So let's first do the better condition one. What I want to do here is say, same as mine. I want conditions that are the same as mine. I want Amazon fulfillment. Actually, sorry. What we're trying to do here is one grade better than mine. Amazon fulfillment. And then use the lowest comparable and set my price. Since in this case, we'd be using an offer that's one grade better than ours. So if we were good, we'd be using very good. Let's actually put a discount on this. So we're saying set our price lower by 5%. Okay, that's good for that one. Now let's edit it and move it down to the bottom of the list. And then let's do another one in case we ever need to use the FBA offer that's in worse condition than ours. Now remember, the whole reason for doing this is that we'd rather use FBA offers as comparables first before we fall back to merchant fulfilled offers. So what we're doing is saying FBA is the best comparable. The best of all comparables is FBA offers that are in the same condition as mine. But if you don't find that, then fall back to an offer that's one condition better than mine, but still FBA. And then if you don't find that, then fall back to an FBA offer that's in one condition worse than mine. And that's what we're going to do now. So worse than mine, fulfillment Amazon, use the lowest comparable, and then set my price. And we're going to go higher by 7%, right? Because now we're looking at an item that's in worse condition than ours. So we want to price it at a premium. So we're going to go up. But in this number, you can use whatever number you're comfortable with. I like using 7% for that. Okay, so I made a mistake here. I need to go back in here and fix that. It's not worse than mine. It's one grade worse is what I'm trying to do there. Okay, so let's review where we're at right now. Our first rule is, again, the best of all comparables, use the lowest FBA offer in the same condition as mine. And then if you don't have that, use the lowest FBA offer that's one condition better than mine and price it at a 5% discount. And if you don't have that, then go find the FBA offer that's in one condition worse than mine, and I screwed up the premium there as well. I want higher by 7%. This is why I'm fact checking myself as I go. Okay, so now we have it correct. Lowest FBA offer, 1 down plus 7%. So let's actually show you how that plays out here. So I'm going to scan the same item again. Okay, I'm on like new. My condition's like new, so it's setting it to this offer right here, 1150. Now, what if I'm on very good, for example? So remember, it's using the one up first, so it's using the 1150 and setting that to a 5% discount. So this should equal 1150 times 0.95. There's your 1093 right there. Okay, so that's how we got to 1093. We took a 5% discount on the 1150. Now, what if I was on, say I was on good? So if I'm on good condition, then it's actually, there's no one up because there's no FBA offer in very good condition. So it's going down to the next rule, which is one down. So it's using the FBA used acceptable condition and adding 7% to it. So it's 867 times 1.07. Okay, there's the 928. That's 928. That's correct. Okay, so now we've got it working so that we've got our best 3 comparable offers in order. Okay, let's throw a monkey wrench into this. What if there's no FBA offer at all? And by the way, your existing scouting app would have failed you on this first case. After the first case, all these other ones that I'm showing you would not work at all. I'm showing you how Sellzee managed to solve all these problems. And again, just the first example I showed you, you would have been able to do with your existing scouting app. All these other things you cannot do with your existing scouting app. Especially this case here where there's no FBA offer at all, right? So what do we do in this case? Well, there's no FBA offer and all of my rules are related around FBA offers. So it's saying there's just no price. I just don't know what price to use, no matter what condition I pick here. So let's go back into the pricing rules and let's fix that. So what we're gonna do is add another rule, a 4th rule. So this is our 4th option. And let's do same condition and let's do merchant fulfilled, right? Because we've already exhausted our best comparables were FBA offers, and we're saying, all right, if there aren't any FBA comparables, go use the lowest merchant fulfilled offer in the same condition as mine, and then set my price higher or lower by 0. It doesn't matter. You're just saying set it equal to, and it doesn't really matter if it's on percent or dollars either, okay? Create, and then I'm going to move it to the bottom of the list because I want it to be my 4th option. Okay, so now I have lowest merchant fulfilled offer in the same condition. All right, so let's go ahead and scan this. We're on example number 3. Scan this item again, and there you go. It's using $5.99, which is the lowest merchant fulfilled offer. Okay, so it's progressively getting more intelligent as we go. Now, what's the problem with this? Well, if I'm really selling merchant fulfilled, I can charge more than $5.99 because there aren't any FBA used offers, and this item's rank is 63,000, which is really good. Now, empirically, based on the data that we collect at Sellzee, the FBA premiums range anywhere from 5% all the way up to 25%, depending on how well the item is ranked. So when I say FBA premium, I'm talking about offers in the same condition, one's FBA and one's merchant fulfilled. What's the price spread on those? Typically, it ranges between 5 and 25%. So watch this. Let's go back into the pricing rules. And let's actually we're going to add 4 more rules, but we're going to adjust our 4th one first. So what we're going to do is say, use the lowest merchant fulfilled offer in the same condition as mine, except this time we're going to set the price higher by 25%, But I'm only going to do it when the rank is better than 100,000. That's what the usage filter is for. So I'm going to turn on the usage filter, and you only use it when the rank is better than 100,000. Okay, so let's review it one more time. Use offers in the same condition as mine, only use merchant fulfilled offers, use the lowest comparable, set my price higher by 25%, but only do it when the rank is less than 100,000. Okay, so we got that one in there. So that's going to handle this case now, because this item is rank 63,000, which is obviously less than 100,000. So let's check the math here. We should be doing 25% on top of 599. So 599 times 1.25. There you go. 749 rounded, and that's 749. That's what I got down there in the price. That's correct. Okay, so that will work for when the rank is less than 100,000. But what if it's worse than 100? I should say better than 100,000. What if it's worse than 100,000? Let's handle all those cases as well. So all we're going to do is create sort of clones of that fourth rule. We're just going to repeat that and change the usage filter for a different rank. So let's go ahead and add another one. Same condition as mine. Fulfillment is merchant. We're going to use the lowest comparable. We're going to set my price higher by, this time we're going to go down to 20%. And we are going to use ranks better than 250,000. Okay, move that down to the bottom of the list. Okay, let's do a couple more. So again, same as mine. Fulfillment merchant. Fulfillment merchant. It's the lowest comparable. Set my price higher by, now we're going to go down to 15%. And only use it when the rank is less than 500,000. Okay. Move that down to the bottom of the list. I'm going to keep going until we've gotten down to the worst rank that we're willing to accept. Okay, same as mine. Merchant fulfilled. I hope you're seeing a pattern now. Use the lowest comparable. Set my price higher by 10% this time. But only use it when the rank is better than 750,000. Move it down to the bottom of the list. Now again, the reason we're moving it down to the bottom of the list, because this is like, right now, this is my last resort option, right? Like I don't want it to use this rule unless all the ones above it don't return a value. Okay, so we got one at 10%. Let's do another one, same as mine. Merchant fulfilled. Use the lowest comparable. Set my price higher by, let's do 5% for this one. And then rank less than, let's go all the way up to 1 million on this one. So even up to 1 million, there's an FBA premium, but after that, it starts to go away. Starts to converge to just be the same as merchant fulfilled. This is all based on real data, by the way. I'm not making these numbers up. Okay, let's do the very last one. So again, same as mine. Merchant fulfilled, use the lowest comparable. And this time we're gonna go, that's where we're gonna go down to the 0% premium. In other words, just use the same price. Rank is less than, I'm gonna go all the way up to the worst rank here. That'll cover anything worse than 1 million. Okay. Let's move that down on the bottom of the list. Let's save it and let's just review what we got. Okay. So first of all, use the lowest FBA offer in the same condition as mine. If I don't have that, go down to the condition one better than mine and subtract 5%. Otherwise, if you don't have that, go down to the FBA offer one condition worse than mine, add 7%. If you don't have any of that, then start using merchant fulfilled offers depending on the rank. If the rank's anywhere between 100,000 and 20 million, then use the corresponding premium, either 25%, 20%, 15%, 10%, 5%, or set it equal, okay? So now let's go ahead and scan this item again and see where we're at. Okay, we're at 749. That is the same thing we had before. That's correct because this item is better than 100,000, but let's go look at an item that's ranked worse than that. So this item is ranked 2 million, so there should be no premium on it. I have my condition on good, and that's correct. Look right there, it's matching that price, 296.49. If I put it on very good, then I'm at 103.99. So this is using that price right there. And if I put it on like new, it's using 254.76, which is that price right there. So perfect. So now we got a really, really flexible rule. And I'm going to throw yet another monkey wrench into this. I want you to see how truly robust all these rules are. Even in this case right here where there's no used offer at all. Now what do we do? So there's no used offer at all. If you're on very good, in other words, you're not one condition below new, because that's what like new would be. That's why it's giving you a price here. But if you're on very good here, there's no rule it's not matching on any of the rules. So it's saying, oh, I don't know what to do. There's no price. So let's go ahead and fix that. We're going to go into the pricing rules. By the way, this whole process that I'm showing you, these are the default rules that are stored in Sellzee. So it's not like you have to download the app and then add all these rules. These are stored in the app by default. And what I'm doing here is showing you the rationale behind why those rules are stored by default. Okay, so let's add a 10th rule. And let's use a new offer as a comparable, right? Because in that case, the only offer that was available was a new offer. So let's go ahead and let's not even turn on the fulfillment for this one. Let's say the lowest new offer and set my price lower by, let's say 30% for now. And then I'm going to make it a little bit more sophisticated after this. Okay. Let's move that down to the bottom. Okay, now see how we got a price there? $13.23. It should be $18.90 minus 30%, which is the same thing as times 0.7. There you go, $13.23. But what about when I downgrade it to good or acceptable? Shouldn't my price get worse? It should, because the condition is worth is further away from new, so it should be a worse price relative to the new. So let's go ahead and make that more intelligent. We're going to go back into here, and what we're going to do is we're going to edit this rule, and what we're going to do is say only use the 30% discount, only use it when my condition is acceptable. So that's the worst discount we're going to give it. So when my condition is acceptable, use 30%. Okay. We're going to save that. Then we're going to go add another one. We're going to say, we're going to use the new offer as a comparable, use the lowest, set mine lower by, this time we're going to do 5%. No, sorry, we're going to do 25%. And we're going to say only do that when my condition is good. Okay. So I got that one, move that one down. Add another one. Using the new offers. Use the lowest comparable. Set it lower by 15%. And only use that when my condition is very good. Okay, move that down. Oops, looks like I made a little mistake there. I want 15%, not $15, right? So minus 15%. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing for like new and new. So again, I'm using new offers, use the lowest comparable, set it lower by, this time we're going to go down to 5%. And we're going to say only do that when my condition is like new. All right. And then we're going to do one final one. Again, new. Don't want that on. Use the lowest comparable and then set my price lower by 0%, but only use that when my condition is new. Okay, so now we have a really good list here. What we're doing is saying if all these options are exhausted and you still don't match on a price, then start using the new offer as your comparables. And if my condition's acceptable, then go a 30% discount relative to the new. If my condition's good, use a 25% discount. If my condition's very good, use a 15% discount. If my condition's like new, use a 5% discount. And if my condition's new, then just set it equal to the lowest new. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and scan this item again. And as you can see, when we're at acceptable condition, we got $13.23. If we go up to good, though, it gets better. If we go up to very good, it gets better. Like new gets better. New all the way up to $18.90. Okay, so let's just spot check one of these. So good is supposed to be a 25% discount on the new. So let's say $18.90 times 0.75 equals, there's our $14.18. So that's correct. All right, so now this is really, really sophisticated. It's almost perfect. But what happens when you get something like this? It's weird ones like this, where the lowest use offer is, let's put it on very good so you can see what I mean. Our condition, we're saying our condition's very good. The lowest used offer is $68.74. Okay? But the lowest new offer is $61.96. Surely we should not price it above $61.96. So what's happening here? It's using the rule that's putting a 10% premium on the comparable merchant fulfilled offer. So what is it doing? It's taking $68.74 and it's adding 10% to that, and that's where we get our $75.61, right? But we really don't want it to go above the lowest new. So what we can do is put a ceiling price on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another rule, and we're going to say it's the new offer. We're going to use new offers as our condition filter. We're going to use the lowest comparable, and we're going to go lower by 5%. Okay? We're going to move this down to the bottom of the list. That down to the bottom of the list. Now remember, what I'm wanting it to do is not price higher than that. I don't want it to go above $61.96. In fact, I want it to go 5%. At best, I want it to go 5% lower than $61.96. Okay, so we're going to go back into the pricing rule. So now that I have this rule down here, I can use it as a ceiling, and it doesn't even have to be turned on. So let's go turn on the ceiling price. There's our one we just created, lowest new minus 5%. Now, if I scan this item, you can see it already reflected there. Now, if I scan this item, it's going to cap out at 95% of the lowest new. So watch this, 61.96 times 0.95. There you go, 58.86. So now, as you can see, it works in all these examples. Let's go back through and run through them all one more time. Okay, so this is the basic vanilla example. When the lowest merchant fulfilled is not profitable, but the lowest FBA offer is, look, it's correctly using the 1520. It's actually using that 1525. That's correct. Now, the case where the lowest FBA offer is in a worse condition than ours, we don't want it to use that because that's leaving money on the table. It's actually using the premium on the merchant fulfilled offer of $835. It's putting a premium on that to get to $936. And if I bump it up to like new, it's capping out at the ceiling, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on here, but it's very, very similar to how you're actually going to price in reality when you go to list, which is what you want. You don't want any surprises when you go to list. So what's happening here? The 1014 is the ceiling. Remember, 95% of that is 963. So that's correct. Let's go scan the next item. This one was there's no FBA offer at all. Again, it's using the comparable offer and putting a ceiling on the comparable offer. That's how it got down to $1194. And let's go down to the next example here. Oops, that was the same one again. All right, and this example, it's on like new. The rank is really bad, so there's no premium. It's just using that offer right there. Go down to the next example. Let's put it on very good. Again, this was the one where there was no used offers. There's only the new offer, and it's putting a discount on the new offer. That's how it got down to 1607. That was the same one again. And then finally, this weird example here where the lowest used is higher than the lowest new. We don't want it to do that. See how it's correctly pricing it slightly lower than the lowest new. So as you can see, Sellzee sets your price correctly. As we say, the price is right. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.